All right, so you did it. You got your sterile processing certification. You passed the tests, you know your stuff, but maybe the job offers aren't quite rolling in. If you're feeling stuck and wondering what you're missing, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the unspoken rules that take you from being certified to actually getting hired.
It's a super frustrating place to be, isn't it? You put in all that work, you've got the paper to prove it, and yet, crickets. You see other people landing jobs, and you're just left thinking, what's their secret? What am I missing? Well, the answer might surprise you.
Here's the truth of it. Your certification gets you the interview. It gets your foot in the door. But it's your professional habits that get you the job. Hiring managers aren't just looking for someone who can pass a test. They're evaluating how you operate.
Okay, first up is what I like to call the communication test. In any healthcare job, this is the first hurdle you have to clear. And trust me, the stakes are incredibly high.
60%. Just look at that number for a second. This isn't just a random statistic. It's a huge warning sign about what happens when things go wrong inside a hospital.
That's right, over 60%, that's more than half, of serious medical mistakes happen because somebody didn't speak up, or didn't ask a question, or didn't confirm what they heard. This is why how you communicate isn't some soft skill in this field. It's a core job requirement for keeping patients safe.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. A struggling tech, they stay quiet, they assume things are fine, and they just hope for the best. But the successful tech, the one who gets the job, they speak up. They verify and confirm everything. And if something looks off, they report it right away. They never ever assume.
So, once a manager sees that you can communicate, they're going to want to know how you handle chaos. This brings us to the second big evaluation, the pressure test.
Sterile processing is a high-pressure world. You've got stat requests, back-to-back cases. It is intense. And in that moment, you really only have two choices. You can panic, or you can prioritize. Panicking makes you rush, and rushing leads to stupid, preventable mistakes. Prioritizing, though, that means you take a breath, you slow down just enough to be accurate, and you focus on quality, not just speed.
15 to 30. These numbers represent minutes. And in an operating room, those are critical minutes that can be lost in the blink of an eye because of one little mistake.
So why does prioritizing matter so much? Because a single tray that's put together wrong, just one missing instrument, can delay an entire surgery by 15, maybe even 30 minutes. And that delay, it affects the patient, the surgeon, and the whole hospital's schedule. Your job is to prevent that from ever happening.
And that brings us to the final, and I think the most important, evaluation of them all, the trust test. This is where everything else comes together. This is the absolute foundation of a long and successful career in sterile processing.
You know, when a manager is interviewing you, they're asking all these silent questions. Things like, are you going to show up on time? Are you going to finish what you start? Can I trust you to work by yourself without me looking over your shoulder? Do you notice the small stuff? It's not about your skills, not really. It's about your character.
Let me tell you a little secret I've seen play out again and again. A manager will almost always choose the consistent, reliable person over someone with more experience who seems a little inconsistent. You know why? Because reliability equals trust. And in healthcare, trust is everything.
So here's the bottom line. Your attention to detail is a direct reflection of how trustworthy you are. Every instrument, every sterilization cycle, every single tiny detail matters because a patient's safety is on the line. There are absolutely, positively no shortcuts in this job, ever.
This is the ultimate standard. Before any tray leaves your hands, you have to ask yourself this one simple but really powerful question. And if the answer is anything less than an immediate, confident yes, you fix it. That is the mindset of a professional who deserves to be hired.
So, how do you put all of this into practice? Well, this isn't just advice. Think of it as your blueprint for going from just another certified applicant to the person that they have to hire.
It really all boils down to these 4 commitments. 1. Master communication. That means speaking up and verifying everything. 2. Handle the pressure. Always prioritize quality over speed. 3. Become unshakably trustworthy. Be reliable. Be detailed. And 4. Commit to growth. Always be learning, always be getting better, and never get complacent.
When you really make these habits a part of who you are, you're doing so much more than just prepping for an interview. You are laying the foundation for a respected, long-term career. You'll become the go-to person, the one managers depend on, and yeah, the one who gets promoted.
So I'll leave you with this question. You've already proven you have the technical skills. That's what the certification is for. But as you go out there and look for that first job, you have to ask yourself honestly, do you have the professional habits that will actually get you hired? Because that, right there, is what will truly set you apart.